This is 6 Minute English from bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello, I'm Yvonne Archer and this is 6 Minute English. And thanks to Kate for joining me today. Hello, Kate.
Hello, Yvonne.
Now, would you ever consider writing a book that spills the beans, reveals all the secrets about someone you know?
Oh, no, I don't think I could do that. I don't think it's the right thing to do, although I know a lot of people do.
Well, Nobuko Kan is Japan's first lady, the wife of Japan's prime minister, and she has written a book. It's called What on Earth Will Change in Japan Now You Are Prime Minister?
Wow, I wonder what's in that. I'd love to read it.
Me too. But before we find out more, here's your question, Kate. The title of Nobuko Kan's book is 12 words long, but of course it's not the longest title in the world. Is the longest title of a book A, 160 words, B, 220 words, or C, 290 words?
I've got no idea, I'm afraid, so I'm going to guess B, 220 words.
We'll find out whether you're right or wrong later on. Now, with a title like What on Earth Will Change in Japan Now You Are Prime Minister, I think we can expect Japan's First Lady to criticise a few things about her husband. Kate, can you explain for us what the verb to criticise means?
Well, if we criticise something or someone, we make it known that we don't like them and don't approve of them. So a criticism is when we say what we think is wrong with something or someone. For example, the way they look, their actions or opinions.
Now, as we listen to part of a report by the BBC's Roland Burke in Tokyo, try to catch 3 criticisms that Japan's First Lady makes about her husband.
In a book about her husband, Naoto Kan, she writes, "I wonder, is it okay that this man is Prime Minister because I know him so well?" In a long list of his failings, she criticises his delivery of his first policy speech in Parliament, as well as his fashion sense and inability to cook.
Kate, we heard how Japan's First Lady included a long list of her husband's failings in her book, the things he's not successful in. But what was the first of his failings? So the first criticism we heard about.
Well, it was about his very first speech about policy in the Japanese Parliament, about what the government is planning to do. Mrs. Kan didn't like his delivery, so she criticised the way he made his speech.
Oh dear. So his own wife didn't think the speech went very well. Now, the next 2 criticisms were quite personal, I thought, but one could possibly affect his job as Prime Minister, while the other is unlikely to. What do you think, Kate?
Well, yes, criticising the Prime Minister for his fashion sense, the type of clothes he wears, is definitely personal. But image is important for famous people, so Naoto Kan really needs to dress appropriately for all occasions.
And what about the third criticism we heard about?
Oh yes, well she criticises him for his inability to cook. And again, that's a personal criticism, and it's more about Naoto Kan as a husband than about him as Japan's Prime Minister.
Yeah, I agree. He can still be a good Prime Minister even if the whole world knows he can't cook. Well, the Kans have been married for 40 years, so is this book a sign of problems in their relationship? And how does the Japanese Prime Minister feel about his wife's book? Here's more from the BBC's Roland Burke in Tokyo.
The Kans are as famous for her willingness to spar with him in public as for their enduring marriage. The Prime Minister has called his wife his opposition in the home. Asked by reporters about her book, Mr. Kan said he was too scared to read it.
So, no need to worry. The Kans have an enduring marriage. It's strong and has lasted a long time. And Mrs. Kan is famous for wanting to spar with her husband in public. She likes to have gentle arguments with him in front of everyone. But the Prime Minister has a few views of his own.
Yes, he calls his wife his opposition in the home. So Mrs. Kan is like a parliamentary opponent who lives with him. She criticises and questions what her husband does at home.
Sounds like she keeps him on his toes.
Yes, it does.
But I really liked Prime Minister Kan's comment on his wife's book. What on earth will change in Japan now you are Prime Minister?
Yes, well, when it was published, the Prime Minister said he was too scared or afraid to read it.
So, Kate, if someone talked about you in a book, would you be too scared to read it?
Yes, I think I would actually. I think I wouldn't like to see someone else's opinion of me. I hope no one will put me in a book.
Well, we'll have to see. Time will tell. Okay, it's time now for the answer to today's question. Kate, how many words did you say are in the longest ever title for a book?
Well, I took a guess at this one and said B, 220 words.
The answer actually was C, 290 words.
290 words? How did that many words fit on the page?
You'd be surprised.
I'll have to see that one.
Yes, the book was written in 2007 by an Italian man, and it was about PR.
Public relations.
That's right. But that's all for today's 6-Minute English. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That was 6 Minute English from bbclearningenglish.com.